You know, you like that song.
Oh, yeah.
You like that. Welcome to Smooth Sailing with AJ Sand, the show for Generation X, right here on My Radio Chicago. That's on the Support District Radio Network. What is what, Dre Jeff?
More than radio.
We got a guest over there. He's not really a guest, he's family.
Grandparent.
But
he's some type of record spinner.
DJ Miles in the building. Mo Green is running a little late, and Shamika has the night off. So, Mr. Miles, what we like to do is we like to really start off our show. First of all, welcome to another edition of our show.
Thank you. I am honored, my brother. I am absolutely honored. Thank you.
Welcome back again. You've been here before. And welcome you all. We so glad to see you. And tonight's show is going to be a doozy. And first of all, before we get into the show, I think I owe some people an apology. What'd you say, Dre Jeff? You think so? I'm gonna do it anyway. I think
it all depends on you. Your truth is your truth.
It is.
So that's the way I feel.
Last week we had some conversations about the clip that was out there, Lisa Ray having demands, and our boy Corey Holcomb said you can't have demands over JJ, and we had a whole conversation about it. And
I'm telling you,
apparently a lot of the women viewers were mad at AJ Sand. Ooh-wee. Let me tell y'all something. The thoughts and views that's expressed on Smooth Sailing with AJ Sand, the show Generation X, are not necessarily the thoughts and views of My Radio Chicago or the Support District Radio Network.
Yes.
We got that out the way. So, ladies, let me tell y'all something. I do not, by any means, dislike or bash women. I love y'all so much. And what we do here, we provide content, right? We talk about issues. We may have our own opinions about things. And, it's just conversation. It's content, right? It's not to hurt anyone's feelings. It's not to, insult people. It's just content, right? And when you put anything out there for people to see, i.e. the internet, that means anybody has fair game to comment on that content.
Facts.
So when you put stuff out there, don't be upset because you may not like the response you get or the reaction you may get for something that's put out there. All right. So I said some things, and and I meant everything I said, but I don't want you all to think that I don't like women or bash women and things like that. I come down really hard on women. I do. And if that's a little sensitive for some of y'all, you might want to change stations.
Well, here's the thing with that.
Hold on, let me finish my thing. And so again, ladies and gentlemen, it's not this show is not to bash anyone. We provide content. That's why I say Generation X. This is all about how we lived, how we grew up, and how we view the world back then and today. So again, it's not to bash anyone. So tonight we're gonna get on the men, and I think some men are gonna be upset.
Probably
some men are gonna be upset tonight.
Probably
because we're gonna get on them tonight because I had some conversations with a lot of women and men, and the state of the world. That's tonight's topic. What the state of the world, the state of the black man, I should say, and why the world is like it is. And a lot of the people that I talk to blame everyone that's sitting in this room that looks like us. Black men are the problem. So go ahead with your thoughts you was about to say, Dre Jeff.
Well, my thing was, man or woman, if a comment hit you that hard, 9 times out of 10, it was probably the truth about yourself.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just have to look into yourself and to say, all right, what am I doing? You know what I'm saying?
I do.
But the way society in this world has been since the 70s and the 60s, where if everything go wrong or whatever, it's always our fault. It's always our fault. It's, the men, that's why the black man is not in the family no more, and this, that, and the third, instead of just putting in looking at yourself. And I'm not saying some black men or some men, period. I ain't gonna just say black men, just men, period, just was a-holes. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes, we as black men could be forced out, and sometimes it goes on like how your heart is. Can I deal with this? Or am I able to deal with this? Or I ain't gonna deal with this. And then some of them just be like, I'm just gonna do my thing, lay my seed here. I'm gonna go here, lay one here. Just don't care. So to the women who had the issue last week or whatever, the issue was not about your vajayjay being old and dry and this, that, and the third. The thing was like you being a certain age and you coming with too many demands.
Right.
That's all the issue was.
All it was.
That's all it was.
So that's that. That's that. And that's last week's show. And then today's show, we're going to talk about, again, the state of the world in terms of the black man. I think some of the things that I've heard over the week when talking to people hit home, and some of the stuff is the truth. So before we get into that, Mr. Miles, how you been, man?
I've been well, brother.
Yeah?
I've been well. I could not complain.
I wish
whatsoever.
you could hear the fake clap. You should hear
It's okay. It's okay. I feel it. I feel it right now. Yes, sir.
Welcome back, bro.
I appreciate you being here. I'm honored to be here, my brother.
Yes, sir, man.
Always good to see you.
How was your weekend? You too, bro.
I had a really good weekend. I DJ'd all weekend. Got my car towed on Sunday. I missed the gig on Sunday, but that's okay. I apologize to the people, but I got some rest at the crib, I guess.
You got to watch the bum Bears play, huh?
Yeah, I did. The Bad News Bears, but that's a whole nother topic.
All right, so that's what's up. Dre Jeff, how was your weekend, man?
I ain't been off yet.
I know we just
I ain't been off yet. I've been working, but it's all good, man. I can't complain. Nobody's gone. Everybody's still here. Everybody got a considerable amount of health. We're back here on smooth sailing.
That's right.
We got guests.
Next time, wait till the goddamn commercial come on, nephew. Go have
but every
TV now, man.
Right. But everything is everything, or whatever, man. How was your weekend, bro?
I had an awesome weekend, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Our weekend was dope. So it was just I don't take advantage of being able to breathe, wake up every day and breathe. Mm-hmm. That's something that I definitely do not take for granted. So that was up. Nephew, how was your welcome, bro? How you doing, man?
What's going on?
You good? I see y'all cut up and dreaded out.
You see him?
I see the shiny head going on. How you doing, nephew? You good?
I'm good. I'm just
good to see you, man.
Good to be here.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So tonight we're talking about the state of the black man and why the world is the way it is. And some of us say that it's our fault. It is our fault. Mm-hmm. As black men, mm-hmm. The reasons to why things are the way they are today. So, ladies, you're gonna want to tune in today, and gentlemen, because we're probably gonna rub some people the wrong way again this week. Because I'm getting on the men. You know what I'm saying? And I am not exempt. I am not perfect, but I learned from the things that I've gone through.
That's why
you know what I'm saying. All right. So, okay. Now I'm gonna start, Mr. Miles, you've been in education for quite some time. I've done some educational things. I've been in education as well. And throughout my, as far as I'm concerned, there's just not enough black men in education. It's just not enough. And why do you think that is?
Well, that's by design, sir. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And if anyone thinks that the black community and the men not being in it is not by design, you're fooling yourself. This is all by design. The prison to school system, the school to prison system is very real. If your babies are not reading by third grade, they have a cell form waiting on them already. These are facts. This is no BS behind it. The women who basically run the education system, you know how that goes. Sometimes you don't get your due say as a man in the building. Mm-hmm. I have worked in high school for about 17 years now. And it's the difference when you have a certain kind of female leadership in the building that's not running off of all emotion. No knock on my sisters, but all emotion sometimes doesn't do us any good. We need logic. We need to be able to talk to our young men. We need to be able to talk to our young women, right? And right now, I would guarantee the majority of the buildings, high school buildings in this city, if they ran a report on how many infractions were happening in that building, the majority of them, fight-wise, would be young ladies. Now, I've been at a school where 1 year the boys went up. It's a total different look, and you never want to see that, because if the young men are not in check, there's chance of death coming your way. Right, that's just real.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a certain amount. Men have generally not been able to get into education. For number one, it's not enough money in it. 2, they might not have the patience. 3, the men who really could do the work have either had some type of record. Even arrest records hurt you when it comes to education and being in the school in the city. So that's why there's not a lot of men in education right now.
By design. So it's either, now you mentioned patience. And one of the things about being in education is you got to go to school, you got to get a degree, and you got to get certified, and you got to get certified again. So a lot of men are impatient when it comes to that. Why do you think that?
Well, I'm just using myself as an example. I know I cannot do elementary school. I don't have the patience for it.
And why?
Well,
and be candid. It's okay.
I'm being very candid.
And of course you are.
I'm being very candid.
Yeah.
They are too naive to know that I'm crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So they say anything out of their mouths, and because there's not enough men in these buildings to check them, when I come in and I check them, everybody looking at me like, whoa.
Yep.
I've had women stop me from checking young men because they didn't like the way I checked them. And then
that's that emotional aspect.
That's the emotional aspect of it, right? Or you might have hurt his feelings.
Yeah.
But if I don't check him, the police gonna hurt his feelings. If I don't check him, that judge is gonna hurt his feelings. If I don't check him, that other gangbanger is gonna hurt his feelings. You know what I'm saying? So it's our duty. We become scared of our kids. I'm not scared. I'm checking you. And so I've had females like, why you talk to him like that? Well, first of all, me and him have a relationship, so I can talk to him like that. Second of all, I'm not, if I let that young man walk over me, that means he's gonna walk over you and everybody else in this building.
Mm-hmm. So Jacob, you are a young man. You are
21.
And how do you view this? Since I know you've been in the schools and you don't see a lot of black men. Do you agree with some of the things you hear Mr. Miles talking about?
I agree, definitely. Especially with the part with the women part, because sometimes they can't handle the fact that we're talking to them a certain way that they're not used to, because it's a whole different environment for them. They don't understand that we're talking to them as a man. Like, this is real stuff that we're talking about. It's not something that we just going to lie to you and just say. Because at the end of the day, you got to leave the school building. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I feel like the misconception at with the women part, because they with them all day. And I'm the person that come in that's supposed to tell them to stop, don't do that. But, it goes both ways.
Mm-hmm.
But
And so what I've experienced in my lifetime, as far as I'm concerned, in a certain realm of working, is that the black man, the strong heterosexual black man, is most intimidating. He's smart. He's a black man. He's smart. He's intelligent. He sits up straight. He wears a suit. He speaks with profound intelligence, and he looked at as a threat. Why do you think that is, Jacob?
I'm gonna say people's intimidated by that. And people fear that because they feel like they can't do it themselves, so they gonna try to belittle the person. Like, oh, look at him. Well, he suited up. What he gonna do? Mm-hmm. That's a lot of hate. I feel like that comes with it. I feel like a person is just really jealous at the fact that a man know how to keep himself together, know I'm supposed to work out, supposed to keep my health together, know I'm supposed to keep stuff in order. People get jealous at that for real. Mm-hmm. So I get that part.
Yeah, I mean, when I was in the school system and we had to, just regular conversation with young men, right? And a female administrator would come up and not agree with the way the conversation's going because of the emotional aspect and the nurturing aspect that women bring. Now, it's okay, ladies, all right? But we need men. And what I've seen is, again, a young man just told me not too long ago, he wears a suit every day to work. When he sits up straight, at attention, paying attention to someone as they're talking, looking them in the eyes, that's intimidating. A black man doing that. He said that they said that he is intimidating. That's sad. That takes away. But if he was sitting there twitching and talking long like a female, it would be accepted.
Yeah.
Mr. Miles, go ahead. I guess.
Well, I say, look, I own it. You know, I love
Absolutely.
suits. Forget what I have on today. I love suits.
Yeah.
I love wearing ties. I like dressing up. My grandfather, my father, I come from a lineage of men who like to dress, right? So I own it. The majority of the young men that I deal with, by the time they graduate, guess what they're wearing? Bow ties, suits. Let me go back to something else you said though. There are a lot of men in education, they're just not teachers. There are security staff in that building that deal with these students. I know what you're saying. You want somebody to be in those teacher roles, right?
Yes.
But there are coaches in that building. There are people like me who are resource coordinators. There are other staff members that really that create bonds with the young men in those type of environments, right? So we around, iron sharpens iron, even when whoever is not looking, right?
Sure.
We still gonna keep it moving, right? But whoever's intimidated, the first time I felt that intimidation by how I was dressed was actually not from women. It was from an older white man. Yeah, and I might have been, for sure, I might have been Jacob's age at the time, but I always was a dresser.
And we're intimidated by everybody, not just women, but everybody.
No, yeah, I've never really felt that by women. I've never felt that I intimidated women
in a setting. No,
I mean,
in the educational setting,
not even in the educational setting. Right now, they might dismiss some of my ideas, but I don't think they feel intimidated. Okay. I think power-wise, the women that I deal with are mostly assistant principals and principals, so they got all the power regardless.
Right. It doesn't matter.
So it's me offering my service, basically bowing down because you're the boss of their building, right? So I got to acquiesce to whatever you have going on. That's within the realm of my role. Now, I will stand up for myself too, because I have a grant. I have something that I have to do myself that might not align in how you may want to spend these grant dollars. And I got to be a steward of that and say, no, we can't do it that way. Yes,
okay. All right. So we're talking about education. I want to go back. This is a study that I looked up actually, and it's the percentage of Black men who are in education. It's a stat. Do you have that? I think you got that same thing up, Dre Jeff. I want you to look at that. Now, in 19, this is some years ago. What's this? 24. About 5 years ago, right?
In 2019, 28% of the Black men at age 25 to 29 has a bachelor's degree or higher, compared to 30% of Black women, over 40% of white men, and nearly half of white women, according to the National Centers of Education Statistics in 2019.
So what does that tell you when you hear those stats?
Well, for me, because you took trades out the schools that doesn't require a bachelor's degree.
You hear that?
What I'm saying?
Y'all hear that, America?
Which are basically men-skilled or men-driven industries, which are not being taught in the schools anymore. Construction, electricity, becoming an electrician, climbing these poles, gas workers, pipe workers, you name it, plumbers, name it. The welders, right? These jobs are paying, they're making $60,000 up. And they stopped teaching Black men these skill sets.
The sheet metal, the welding, the drafting,
architecture, all of it, all the things that give us as men something to do to build. We are builders, right? That's what we do. We build. You give us something, we're gonna build it. You know what? All these buildings that y'all walk in was built by me.
I mean, for sure. Jacob, what do you think about that, bro?
Off the statistic, what you were saying, I pretty much got that. The fact that it's not a lot of us in schools, to say the least. But like Mr. Miles is saying, not a lot of construction and things that other black people might just do for a trade, because some black people don't want to do no 4 year or go to no community college. Some just want to do a trade school and get their certificate.
Because college is not for everybody.
It's not meant for everyone.
It's not meant for everyone.
It's not.
Okay.
They just might want to get their certificate and, go about that.
Mm-hmm.
9 months they did.
Okay. So I was having these conversations again, and I want to stick to this first segment about the education and the lack thereof. Of men and black men in our schools. And you mentioned something, and I've seen this as well, Mr. Miles. The security guards, the coaches, the gym teachers, the
janitorial staff,
the peripheral staff,
staff.
They contribute to I guess some of the character building of some of these kids. Explain how that happens.
Well, like a coach in the building, right? If he's coaching football, he's spending time with your son. Mm-hmm. He's able to say things to your son. He's able to bring things out of your son that you might not even know that he had. I mean, even I run after school programs, so I have art classes, right? And my students are doing art over the years, and their parents don't even know that they can draw, right? So these men are bringing out other things in your child that you might not even know. The building of the confidence, those coaches give. My security staff, they actually mentor. They're just not yelling at them, telling them where they need to go. Hey man, come here, son, let me holler at you.
Right.
Oh, come here, young lady. My daughter. So we I can joke with them all the time. I need to put y'all on my taxes because I give so much to them, what I'm saying, to the point where my own children were jealous looking at me like, why are you giving all this to them? Where my time at with this, right? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, there are a lot of black men in these buildings. I had to have this discussion with my daughter, like, I don't see a lot of black men doing this work. I say, we out here doing it. We just overlooked.
We want to see teachers, principals, counselors, right? We want to see black men in the preschool that we don't have the patience for. And why is that? I think it's because, again, we're going to approach it a different way. Sit down, John. Real quick.
He say, man, stop practicing.
That might not be.
He say, man, don't practice on me no more.
That might not be, but we gonna say, come on, man, we gonna.
No, I give you a perfect example. I had a young man. We're playing basketball. It's grammar school. He had to be like in 6th grade, and in the gym, everybody turned into basketballs. This young man, he's still shooting. Young man, please hand me the basketball. Hey. So he decides, we're not that far away from each other. He decides to fire the ball at me, bro. I caught it. What you think I did?
Fired it back.
Oh, man. I tried to put a hole through that boy's chest. I did.
Yeah.
I got reprimanded for that. You got emotional. I didn't. Okay, fine. I'll take that. The next day, that young man comes in. He tells the entire building, that's my dad, y'all. And I looked at the staff. At that time, the female administrator, I just looked at her like, see, let us check these boys.
Yeah.
We didn't have a problem out of him since that.
See
the rest of the summer, we didn't have any problems out of him.
They keep us from checking the young men. And I just went through this. Mm-hmm. Like the emotional aspect and all that stuff, that ain't working. Right?
Time out.
It's just not.
We got to give them a time out.
But it's a way to check them.
It is.
I've never put hands on my own children.
Yeah.
Right? Now, what my son will tell you is that I give you that pop upside your head to make you think about it, but I never whooped you. But what I said, I meant what I said. And the problem is, we as adults, we keep lying to these babies.
Yep.
We don't mean what we say.
That's right.
And that's why they out here doing what they doing.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. Tonight's show is brought to you by Nancy's Home Care. Yes. Nancy's Home Care for all your home care needs. Go to www.nancysHomeCare.com, or you can give her a call at 773-819-6821. You're going to explain to them how this works when we go on break, J-Jeff?
Nephew should know.
Well, he might not remember. He ain't been here. He
ain't
been here so long. Nephew, you remember how this go? Look, he on his phone getting pertinent information.
Yeah. Now, so when we going on commercial break, he gonna say 1, 2, 3, and we gonna say it's more than radio. But he might say it backwards. He might say it in Spanish. He might not know you say it at all. So just be ready.
It's just as simple as that. 1, 2, 3.
It's more than radio.
We'll be right back, y'all.
In home care, you may think of nurses visiting a home to care for an elderly patient, and that is accurate to a point. However, Nancy's Home Care offers a wider variety of care options than just that. We offer companion, personal, and respite care. We also offer household services. Our caregivers will provide light housekeeping to ensure that you or your loved one's home stays clean and safe. Our staff can help with dementia, Alzheimer's, surgery recovery, or simply aging care. We create care plans that are completely customized to our clients' needs, and our personal care workers are available anywhere from 4 to 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. Nancy's Home Care now has its own training facility, so future caregivers can receive holistic home care training. Nancy's Home Care provides professional home care in Chicago and surrounding areas. Visit our website at nancyshomecare.com. Nancy's Home Care, helping people, touching lives.
Video production. We help you tell your stories through video. We specialize in blending language, imagery, music, sound, color into stories from concept and strategy, production and post-production, all platforms and screen sizes. Let's work together. Films. Think, plan, execute motion. If you can hear the sound of my voice, then so can your customers. My Radio Chicago on the Support District Radio Network reaches over 250,000 listeners daily. You can advertise your business or next event on our platform. We understand these are trying times. We have affordable packages to fit your budget. My Radio Chicago is all about community. We support our local businesses 100%. For more information, give us a call at 630-465-0229. That's 630-465-0229. Or send us an email at sdrchicago@gmail.com. That's sdrchicago@gmail.com. My Radio Chicago on the Support District Radio Network. And guess what? It's more than radio.
You are listening to Smooth Sailing with AJ San, the show for Generation X on My Radio Chicago.
Out of the vastness on a distant shore, waves beat on drums like men beat on horse. To be free of material oppression, that boast the truths and deny their confessions. The lion's den is almost bare, too full of peace, gasping for air. Traveling shallow for more tomorrows, alluring mixtures drown out sorrow. Discounting souls of all that they cheat. Our tongues are a sword, with the lions low to adore. Days with views of love, full of the traveling around. Shallow for more tomorrows, alluring just drown out sorrow.
Your producing skills are getting subpar.
Look, man, I ain't had a day off, man. Don't play with me, man.
Welcome back to Smooth Sailing with AJ Sand, the show with Generation X, right here on My Radio Chicago. That's on the Support District Radio Network, where it is what, everybody?
More than radio.
Yeah, you remember that? They don't do that no more.
We used to have that on here.
Don't worry, you got me here. I'm a professional, the live man.
They still doing that, man?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Okay. All right.
I could just see him at a kid's party, like, hey, to the 6-year.
I would. I have done it. And I have done it.
Tonight's show is brought to you by Nancy's Home Care. Please contact her for all your Nancy's Home Care for your home care needs. www.nancyshomecare.com. Or you can give her a call at 773-819-6821, as you can see down there on the ticker. All right. Tonight's show, the state of the black man. Is it our fault? Is it Generation X's fault, men, that we are in the state that we are today? I want to know. And, you know, we ain't finna be doing no man bashing, but we're going to tell the truth.
Iron sharpens iron.
We're going to tell. That's right. Iron sharpens iron. All right. So a lot of the conversations that I had over the past week about the men and things like that is one thing, and you had alluded to this, Dre Jeff, is that there's no men in the homes. There's no black men in our homes, and that's a tough one for all of us. Now, Dre Jeff, you been in the home with your children. You raised all your children, and you were there. So how does that, when you hear these types of things as a man that's been there and stayed there, I mean, what's your take on that?
Well, that's a double-headed sword right there. I was raised, at least for the first 6 to 7 years of my life, with a single parent, with my mom. And it was just me and my older brother until my stepfather came in my life. And there's nothing wrong with the stepfather. There's nothing wrong with it, because he did everything he could to help raise us to be the men that we were today. But it's nothing like having your own father, and yeah, I think Generation X did have a big issue on how society today look at when they hear about a man still in the home with their family. They like, that's unheard of. You know what I'm saying? Because we was raised, you see the men, you saw like older peers or uncles or people on the street, he's a pimp, he's a stud, he go here, he go there. Also, it's not just the men not being there. Sometimes the woman makes it hard for you to be there.
Okay.
Very hard.
Explain that.
Especially 75% of the people in here is over 40 years old. We know how some women can be.
I thank you for that.
Yeah.
So you're blaming. So you're saying
yeah. Sometimes a woman in the house makes it hard because there's no compromise. You being the man of the house or whatever, and like y'all say with that female role being soft or being, don't be so hard on them and this, that, and the third or whatever. And to be honest with you, really for the first 6 years of my life, my mother was hard on me as if my dad was there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she was stone cold on what she said, on how she said it, and didn't give a damn about what you felt about it. And I pretty much lived my life like that until I was 18 years old. She didn't care about my feelings. I said XYZ and you're going to do ABC. So, also society in the world or whatever with and I've discussed this before and I've said it before, where the welfare man don't want you to have no man in the house if you want these food stamps, if you want this money, or if you want this, or if you want us to do that. And then that made the black person lazy, because I'm just going to suck on the government titty, but I can't have no man. So where's your happiness?
So uncompromising women and the welfare system drove the black man away. That's what you're saying? Okay. Mr. Miles.
I disagree.
You disagree?
I disagree to a degree. I think that we should use the same stance that we use for our sisters. You know who you chose.
That's true.
You know who you chose. You decided to ignore those red flags. One of the things that I like to tell the young men when we playing pool, you must have control of your stick. If you don't, you know what I mean. If you don't have control of your stick, it's going to cost you a lot of money. If you don't have control, and I saw this on Instagram, my brother uses MEAT as an acronym. If you don't control your meat, it's going to control your money, your energy, the attention, and time. Okay? So we as men, we have to control, and we know we was running as shorties. We was out here, man, as soon as puberty hit, there was something in us ladies that is chemical. It's a chemistry thing. It's just biology. You understand what I'm saying to you? We start having wet dreams. And we start looking at girls in a whole nother different fashion. We start feeling over. And I'm talking about in 8th grade. Let's be for real. Your sons in 7th and 8th grade are making this happen. I've worked in the grammar school too to know that the young girls are saying that they are virgins because they would rather give, what word should I use?
Whatever you want to use.
Fellatio.
Okay. So in talking to them, right, young men, the same thing I tell the young ladies, you know the red flags. We as men in this room have ignored some red flags because she looked good. Right? That's real talk. So as the leaders of our community, yes, there are a lot of factors that contributed to us not being in the home.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
There are a lot. We can talk about the jobs leaving this city. Let's go talk about Chicago alone, right? The jobs leaving the city, the introduction of crack into our communities, the lack of education and trades being taken out of our schools, right? So we can name all of those things, right? But then there's enough of us out here. There's enough of us out here that still should be teaching our young men how to be. And guess what? I'm on 3 different sides of this. I was, my father and my mother was not in the household with me. I was raised by my grandparents, okay? I also, when I started to have children, I wasn't in the house with them. The first one I wasn't. The second 2 I was for a little bit. The third one I was for a little bit. Right. So then I had to grow and mature from that to become now a grandfather. And while all still holding a relationship with who? My father. Right. Okay. So I'm the oldest child out of everyone, and I'm trying to be the glue, not only to I'm being the glue not only to my own children, right? Because I want them to have a relationship with their grandparents, their grandfather, whatever, right? He also had 2 other children, right? One of my brothers I've only met once. The other one who lives here in Chicago, we didn't get close until after his son, my nephew, passed. Right? And now me and him are thick as thieves. He looked exactly like my father. For a long time, I thought I was the one that looked like my father. And when you see my younger brother, he looks exactly like my father. But they don't get down with him. And so it's still me trying to bring everybody together. Because one thing I said to myself was, if my children can forgive me, I definitely can forgive my father.
For sure. Sure. Jacob, as the youngest in this group, man, you talk to me. I mean, what type of relationship do you have with your father?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I feel like me and him's kind of like the same person. I'm not gonna lie. I really image my dad in a way. We kind of do things similar. So, he give me good advice. I'm not gonna lie. He give me great advice about things that go on in my life because I'm blessed enough to have a father in my life, and I know that other people don't have that. So I am blessed to have a father in my life for sure, definitely. But we also have our times where, we have our falls, but, you learn from that. End of the day, that's my father. I can't neglect my father, because it's a lot of people out here who don't have that and they don't have a chance to even talk to a father or get some type of advice. I get that you might have, you got to, step pops, things of that nature, but like he said, it's not like your real pops. So it's like sometimes it wouldn't hit the same,
Right.
Like I would if it was your real dad. So I do take advantage of that, of having a father.
Good stuff.
Man, shout out to the stepdads, though.
Shout out to the stepdad.
That's hard work.
Sure. That is for sure. So now, I know everyone's saying, well, what about you, AJ? Well, my father was definitely in the household for a little while until, they separated, but he was still there, right? It's a difference of seeing your father periodically than on a consistent basis. It's a difference. It really is. And I'm speaking from experience, right? For my situation, I like to see my son as much as possible because for my first child, I was there for a little while. We weren't like a couple or anything, but we tried our best to co-parent as young people. I wasn't in the household, but I was there. My second son was not there at all. I didn't get a chance to raise him because of, again, decisions. No one's perfect. No one's trying to say that we are, but you make these decisions and then you grow from them. And with my last son, I was definitely there in the household up until a point. And, things happen in lives. We learn from our decisions. I don't want to say mistakes, although we make mistakes, but we also make those decisions that lead to maybe a mistake or two.
That's right.
So we learn from those things. you know, and
you should at least.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's the idea. And for me, it's so important that I am in my son's life, my youngest, because, you know, I'm raising him to be in a world that's full of falsehood. Like, we're talking falsehood. And again, whatever I say, oh well, I'm not trying to hurt anybody, but we know what's wrong out here. We know it's wrong. So I have to teach my son that what you see on the internet and what you see in the world and all this other stuff, that is really wrong, right? And I'm fighting against the TV, the internet, and all these other things as a Black man, right? And I just recently took my son to the polls, and we do this every year. And he's 14 now, and now this is the time for me to explain to him why we vote the way we vote, and who you should really do research on and find out who's doing something, because this vote, believe it or not, is for him. We're done. I mean, it's Jacob them. I won't say we're done, but our lives we're set. All right. So now we're trying to, you know, build.
We ain't got a lot of summers left. That's what you're saying.
We're trying to build for the future.
Right.
You understand me? So,
Right.
so having the Black man in the household is so important. Now, Dre Jeff, you said because of welfare, and
that was part of it. I mean, that's not the whole reason, but that had a significant part.
And some unreasonable women.
Yeah, and it's a part of it.
Okay,
you know, as a man,
let's keep it real.
Yeah, as a man, I believe we should be, like you said, you know, we got to control. You know, you should have read the signs or whatever before you did the do. And that is a very true statement on both parts of the men and women. You know what I'm saying? But as a man, for me or whatever, I wanted to, you know, because I wasn't in the home with my daughter, but I was there. I was there because I was giving my children something I didn't have, was my father. And that's what I wanted to do or whatever. You know, I want to give them the access to be whatever I'm doing. Hey, Dad, you know, where at a point where at one point, I didn't even know where my father was at. You know, or like, dang, you know, when it went like so many years and then, you know, he just finally pop up, you know, and it's like, okay. And that last time when he finally popped up, that's when I took my advantage to talk to him. That was spring of 2002.
Well, let me give you a statistic. People.
Let's go.
Go ahead. You know, I love stats. Now, 57.6% of Black children without their fathers in the household, 31.2% of Hispanic, and 20.7% of white children are living absent of their biological fathers. 57%.
Can I tell you why?
Why?
We are culturally traumatized as Black men since the day we set foot here. And so, and that trauma begets more trauma, right? We done been off the wars, came back, no treatment, told we were still left with nothing. Those traumas, they create things in your community that lay dormant and dark. And now that stuff is coming out. That's why this generation really doesn't care about rules at all whatsoever, because they haven't had structure in so many years and so many different generations at this point, right? It used to be a time we had to go through some type of rites of passage. There's no rites of passage anymore other than passing down whatever gang member, whatever routine you must go through or whatever, because I've seen it in schools. But what are we passing down as traditions? You know, I saw my father be a player. So I was, even though my grandfather was in the home, he was a player too. So that's what I was raised on. I didn't messed up some really good relationships. Just messed up one. We being transparent and honest up here, right? We talking about the men, right?
Oh, yeah.
I know I done messed up some good relationships, knowing that I can't handle. I ain't never been loved like this before. What is this? This look awkward, right? PTSD. Shout out to Geronimo. Promote therapy. Stop drowning. A lot of us are drowning. we drown in our own anger. We mad about the our dads not being there. So in some cases, our moms not being there, having to walk back and forth to school and traumatizing the area, traumatizing areas. I was raised under that. You better not say nothing while I'm talking. So we didn't get a chance to express our feelings, So those things come out now. In the relationship I just got out of, I'm not talking. She's like, why you not talking? I'm not used to talking. I wasn't raised on talking and sharing emotions the way that you normally, the way women normally talking can share their emotions like that. Mm-hmm. The men that can do that, I applaud them.
Right.
But for me, I gotta sit. I gotta let that in my mind. Then when all the anger and everything else asides, then I can sit and I can talk to you.
So we just had a young man just come into our studio. Why don't y'all move over like this? Yeah, so we can see everybody can see you. Another one of my nephews.
Got the nephews in the building. Look at him.
Jerron in the house.
Looking all sharp.
Looking like his daddy. So, I want to continue. So the leadership in the home is missing. Is that what you're saying, Mr. Miles?
Yes.
The leadership in the home is missing.
Yes.
And since that's missing, this is why we as Generation X are at fault because of how we're living today.
But I can't blame it on one generation. I'm Generation X.
Uh-huh.
My dad was not.
Right.
He was a baby boomer.
He was a baby boomer.
Right.
So it kind of started then. During the baby boom, because that's when you get Vietnam, that's when you get heroin, that's when you start introducing the different drugs into our community.
For sure. I mean, I just want to listen because
before then, community-wise, we were together.
We were.
We heard the brothers, the Republican, talk about during Jim Crow laws, we were more together. He was correct in that sense, right? It wasn't a better time for us as a Black community, though. But yeah, we were together. When left alone, we were fine. I.e. Rosewood, i.e. Roseland, i.e. any place that we've been able to settle and y'all left us alone, we were fine.
Black Wall Street.
Yeah. Black Wall Street.
Yeah, for sure.
Chicago, the lottery. They saw us doing good. They took it.
It used to be called a policy.
It used to be called the numbers.
Yeah,
numbers game.
The numbers game.
All right, so now,
let's go.
I want to talk to Jerron. You just got in here, and we're talking about the state of the Black man. And you guys are young, and I want to hear your opinion since you've been in these schools. Why do you think there's not enough Black men in the school as teachers, principals, counselors, people of that nature?
I guess how I look at it this way.
Step up to the mic. Yeah.
How I look at it this way is how it's holding us our potential to give them like the true aspect of what being a Black male is about, how we would develop, how we would improve our mindset, improve them with our vision on how we want to put things to work, create it, and so on. That's how we should add that, to the school.
Because why do you think that's important?
I guess in a way, because it builds up like a lot of creativity to it. Because we can add more to their mindset.
Okay. And so do you feel that because there's no Black men, I won't say none, but there's not a large percentage of Black men that these young people act the way they do?
Repeat that one more time.
So do you think because there's a lack of Black men in the schools, the reason why the students act the way they do?
Yes.
That's for sure. Okay. Because we need that strong presence. Okay. All right. So I want to, there's some comments, y'all.
Let's go.
We talking, people are like, wow, shout out to somebody said, who was Wayman Freeland?
Oh, that's my man, Wayman Freeland.
Shout out
to Smithfield Room.
Clack and Shimmy Live. I see you, Miles. Okay. All right. Am I saying it right? Clack and Shimmy? clack and shimmy. You know what that is, Mr. Miles?
I think I do.
can concur with that. Some women do make it hard for men to be good or active fathers. Bitterness plays a big part in that, but it can go both ways.
It can.
All right, that's what's up. Von Field said, "We see you, Miles. Let's go."
Let's go.
Erica Jackson said that Claudine. Well, Erica Jackson is an actress, and she actually voiced the Nancy's Home Care commercial.
Let's
Shout
go.
out to Miss Erica Jackson. All right, let's see. Come on, Miles. You better speak.
I see some Teron Clayton on there.
I see. He said, "Wait, we needed these conversations." Nice. Erica said, "Is the requested compromising beneficial to both parties involved?" Well, that could be. And last but not least, it Clayton did say we need these conversations. So shout out to all who's chiming in.
Shout out.
If you
Facebook love you.
If you put your message up there, I will definitely read it out. All right. So a lot of people don't like to comment either on there or Messenger, so they like to just text me personally. So I'm gonna say what this person said, and not to worry, I won't mention your name, Karen. All right, now okay, he's so right. Men are not leading but want power. Wow. Okay,
that's dope.
Loose morals and
she
said loose morals and no self-control because you often don't want the truth or don't want us to have expectations of you. Is this why the black man is not? Okay, all right. Men should lead, but with integrity. Some lack integrity. Daughters and sons need their dads. You think our daughters need their fathers?
Oh, definitely. My greatest relationship with my children is with one of my daughters.
Oh my goodness. Men have walked away from God. There we go. Men have walked away from God and allowed themselves to be emasculated by society.
Ooh, let's talk about that.
Oh my goodness.
Let's talk about that.
Now let's talk about it. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna repeat what Karen said. And her real name is not Karen. All right. Men have walked away from God and allowed themselves to be emasculated by society. What do you think about that?
I got it. What role did the church play in that? Because a lot of times when we go to church, these same pastors that you guys put up on a high pedestal, you won't give your man in your house that same pedestal.
Yeah, there you go.
When the pastor run your house, or when that pastor falls, you have no problem with giving him forgiveness, but it's hard to give your man in your house forgiveness. Or I'm gonna tune off some of my boy Corey Holcomb said, you could go into work and give that boss all the respect in the world, but when you get home, you're not gonna give that man the same respect due.
Wow. Okay. My retort, well, not retorted. I'm gonna speak to what she said here. If you look at a lot of the TV shows, don't have black male representation or just male representation.
We ain't had it since the Cosbys.
Everybody
positive, some
type of sweet, and that's just not reality. You have Hollywood, right? I'm gonna go there. They come out with these shows, and you have to have a LGBTQ component. You have to have some man that's gay. That's not really how it always is. And if you see this on TV, if you see this on the internet, if you see this just every time you open your eyes, you damn right it's difficult to raise a son and say that's not what it is. Right? So yes, we're being emasculated by TV, by internet, and by our jobs. We can't say anything.
And the church.
The church, too, according to Mr. Miles, we can't say anything. We can't be expressive. We can't wear a suit. We can't speak properly. We can't have an opinion without the world being afraid of us because we have a little bit of style and pizzazz and a little bit of, something about us.
Well, better than that, AJ, you cannot show emotion as a man without looking at as being enraged or angry.
Angry black man.
I have in so many circles, I get asked, "Are you okay?" Yeah, I'm fine. I'm smiling. I'm not understanding. Yeah, I'm fine. Or even in relationships, I naturally talk loud. That doesn't mean I'm yelling. I'm just a loud talker. You know what I mean? I'm not yelling at you. I ain't called you out your name. I'm not. So I'm not. You know, sometimes you just, and then we have to bottle ourselves up at that point, which makes us even angrier. And so that trauma actually turns into not just anxiety, right? You start making poor decisions based off of this. That's a fact. So if we out there fucking around, it's because we're taking that anger out in a different manner. Some of my young men, they going out and they shoot. Some people like to fight. Others like to fuck.
I mean, that's what it is. What you think about this, Jacob?
Real. Can you repeat what she said? Cause I like to piggyback.
And by the way, if you don't know, they look like twins. Jacob and Jerron are brothers. All right. She said, Karen, men have walked away from God and allowed themselves to be emasculated by society. Okay. In other words, taking away our masculinity.
Okay, I kind of take it as she's saying like a lot of men nowadays don't lean towards God, and then they get corrupted by the internet, like you were just saying. Especially, I'm going to blame it on TikTok. Especially, I really think it's TikTok,
right?
Because TikTok shows you too much stuff that a lot of people wouldn't even know that was on TikTok. That you would learn so much just from TikTok, and then that kind of just like take you away from society. So I kind of get what she mean in a way. Because that can allow you to be like, oh, that does happen. Oh, this can happen in real life, like you were saying. Like,
yeah, but they don't go fact check the stuff that they see on TikTok. That's the problem.
Jerron, I'm going to go back. I want to ask you because you walked in, but you have your father in your life. He's in your life. Yes. Explain to us as a young man how important it is to have your father in your life and what he's done to impact you to be who you are today.
It really impacted me a lot. Like I learned a lot from my father, taught me a lot of new things that I wasn't really aware of. Now it's like I see how things are starting to move different in my life, as you know, being more in my father's present. You know, and so I look at it like, you know, he's a teacher. Like he's teaching me something.
For sure.
And that's something that we gotta know. So then once we grow up to be the father, we pass it on to our kids. And then we just develop from there.
Good stuff. So now, I might not even do that, Ray, but I appreciate you, man. This is an unorthodox show tonight, so we might not do the regular scheduled programming because I run this. All right, so to go back, this person said, men have walked away from God and allowed themselves to be emasculated by society. She said a whole bunch of things, but I want to stop right there. And go ahead.
When she said allow, like we have some say so over how we're being promoted.
Well,
because Dave Chappelle had to leave the country in order not to be put in a dress. Let's just be for real. This is how far.
Did he have to leave, or could he just said no? I ain't doing that shit.
He had to leave.
Okay.
Because we talked about Hollywood, right?
Hollywood, yeah.
Right. So even let's talk about the church. The Bible says, "Honor your father and thy mother, and the mother, right? And your days will be long." Didn't say they didn't care how your father was. Didn't say that if your father was a drug dealer, a crack addict. Didn't say if your mama was a whore. It's like they told you to honor them.
Yeah.
The Bible says to honor them regardless. We don't get honored on Father's Day. There's no honor. There's not a lot of honor. Come on, let's talk about it. The women in this, especially in this society, get all the love. And I know brothers out here that's doing. Come on, man, let's be for real. I know brothers out here that's single fathers that will never get the amount of love and attention that women get. I don't trip on it, but that's just the reality of it. So no, we haven't allowed anybody. That's, if anything, y'all ain't fighting for us enough.
Okay. What do you think about that, Jerron?
Because it's more like, where's our fair share in this? Like, you know, we should also be contributing to something that we got as men. But then, of course, y'all just holding us back on this and that. And how it's just it's like downplaying us like we've been downplayed.
Mm-hmm. Are you supposed to do that? Right. I'm saying that's what they look at you like. Are you supposed to do that?
Wow. Okay.
That's
now,
true.
let me continue where Karen left off. All right. Now, where are the black male leaders? Right. We talked about that. They're few and far between. A generation of kids who are lost, going to jail at a higher rate than their fathers, listening to the worst music and horrific social media, which is where they get their morals and values. Social media.
A lie.
You think that's a lie, Mr. Miles?
No, you don't get your morals. You get your morals and values from your parents, the people you grew up with, who you watch coming up as children.
But what if the parents are not there and all they see?
Whoever raised them. Now, if the streets raised them, that's what we're getting right now.
Black men need to get back to their kids. That's what she's saying.
I agree.
That's definitely.
I definitely agree.
So the and she's continuing to write here, but she's right. I mean, we do need to get back.
We do
to our kids. We do. We need to stop letting outside influence,
like what,
give us excuses.
Just
like
talk about the outside influence.
The internet.
That's a small portion. TV. Let's talk about the real ones. Come on.
What else?
Drugs. What are you talking about?
Right.
Money. The lack of education.
All of these things. Now, to go back, and we got to take a break after this, but to go back, and I'm not going to name the school, but there's several schools that I've seen that the population, and I'm talking about on the south side of Chicago, the population is not where it should be in terms of attendance. But if you go 10 miles north to those schools, you have almost 100% attendance. And why is that? Because you have parent involvement. 1, 2, 3. It's more than radio. We gotta take a break. We'll be right back, y'all.
Hot.
Term home care, you may think of nurses visiting a home to care for an elderly patient, and that is accurate to a point. However, Nancy's Home Care offers a wider variety of care options than just that. We offer companion, personal, and respite care. We also offer household services. Our caregivers will provide light housekeeping to ensure that you or your loved one's home stays clean and safe. Our staff can help with dementia, Alzheimer's, surgery recovery, or simply aging care. We create care plans that are completely customized to our clients' needs, and our personal care workers are available anywhere from 4 to 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. Nancy's Home Care now has its own training facility, so future caregivers can receive holistic home care training. Nancy's Home Care provides professional home care in Chicago and surrounding areas. Visit our website at nancyshomecare.com. Nancy's Home Care, helping people, touching lives.
You would spend every minute with them if you could, but life doesn't always allow that, which is why finding the right childcare is so important. Agape Child Development Center offers early childhood education, parent-youth empowerment, community engagement, crisis support, and healing-centered training to help combat the challenges of domestic violence. Oasis of Love Crisis Intervention Center offers programs to support men, women, and children impacted by domestic violence, sexual assault, and human trafficking. For more information, check out info@agapeoasis.com or support@agapeoasis.com, because choosing safe, quality care is an important, life-changing decision.
And we ready. We back, y'all. What AJ saying? The show for Generation X right here on My Radio Chicago. That's on the Support District Radio Network, where it is what, people?
More than radio.
Tonight we're talking about the state of the black man, Generation X, and is it our fault that we are in the state that we in? Is it our fault?
Yeah.
It's our fault.
Yeah.
It is.
We got to take accountability. We got to start taking accountability right now.
Shout out to Mr. Clayton. I know he
out there.
Smiling. He out there.
Yeah, he out there.
Well, I know he's smiling.
He told me to keep it wild up in here.
Ear to ear. He see, and actually, if you don't know who Mr. Clayton is, he is definitely the proprietor and he started MHAI. That's the Male Health Awareness Initiative. Go to MHAI.info to see how that organization can help your community, your schools, and your neighborhoods. MHAI.info. All right. So tonight's show is also brought to you by Nancy's Home Care. For all of your home care needs, go to www.nancyshomecare.com, or you can give them a call at 773-819-6821 as you see down there on the ticker. And in addition, I'm just talking a lot, Dre Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
In addition, if you want your business to be marketed on our show, you get all the things you see like down there and the commercials and all of those things. Just contact Passionate Films via AJ Sand, and we can make some things happen. Ain't that right, Dre Jeff?
Yep. Or you can go to Mo Green page, or you can go to my page, Dre Jeff, or Shamika So Fine page, and we will definitely get back with you.
That's right. And also, I got that from a therapist.
And also.
And
such
right.
and such.
We would definitely take care of all your marketing and advertising needs for your business. It's just as simple as that.
Yeah. And
all
stay tuned to us. You can look into us as YouTube, and you can go to the SDR network. Where's More Than Radio?
That's right.
Every Monday,
Sure
5 to 7. I'm going back.
Look at you, man. We used to be that.
Oh,
now we're
it was 5 to 7.
Come on, man. You got to get this right, George. How long you been doing this, man? That's a shame. All right. Back to our guests, our family, we should say.
He's
Mr.
lucky at this
Charles
time.
Miles. You know what I'm saying?
Wilding out.
I mean, come on, man. You know, that's just not.
Okay, I made a mistake.
Okay, it's cool. Okay, so I'll let you slide.
Oops, I made a mistake.
All right, let me read what Miss Karen just won't stop. I'm saying this.
Oh, she kept it going.
That's what Karens do, right? All right. So to your statement, Mr. Miles, she said, "What are we fighting for? You want us to fight for what? Take the lead, stay in the home, learn how to communicate, and stop shutting down." Okay, Karen, fix your problems and internal demons. Then we can fight for you.
Okay, those things take time.
It starts with you.
I agree.
You agree with that, Mr. Miles?
I do. I wholeheartedly
agree with that.
I wholeheartedly agree.
She's saying, forget all of the. Thank you. I do too. Forget all of the excuses. Forget all of the blaming somebody else. Take accountability for our own actions, so we can, like you said earlier, Jerron, pass this down to our children, right? That's what she's saying. Go ahead, Jacob.
I agree.
You agree with that, Jacob? Right. Jacob and Jerron are the sons of Mr. Teron Clayton. And I swear, Jerron looks just like Clayton. When Clayton was in high school, he looked just like him with the haircut and everything. It is eerily crazy. All right. Now here she goes again. What women don't want to root for her man. Black women want to root for black men, just like I'm sure you guys want to root for us. But we got to do things different. We need you to lead. Gotcha. You need us to lead. What do you think?
You can't lead if you don't listen, though.
Say it again.
Can't lead if you don't listen.
If you don't listen, though.
We can't lead if you don't listen.
And it's not really about power neither, because if I was about power, that means I'm trying to dictate something. I'm not trying to dictate nothing. I'm just trying to tell you, like, let's do this because this is a better thing to do. As a leader, you're supposed to tell the person, oh, this is something better you should do. I'm not going to tell you something bad. Oh, we going to do this. Because that's going to downgrade it. I'm not going to downgrade you. I'm trying to upgrade you. So.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, now since we are so and this is not looked at as negative, these are facts.
Oh yeah, these are facts.
These are facts. That it says right here, 57 point something percent, I forget what it was, 57.6% of Black men are not at home. And wow. And we came up with, we didn't come up with, some of the reasons why is some women can be unreasonable, right? Like keeping the child from seeing the father for whatever reason that may be. That's one thing. In my own world, I had something similar to that, and it was just a struggle. It's a struggle to have that happen, but luckily now that's not going on with me raising my son. We have a great relationship in terms of him, and it works, Mr. Miles.
But what does that look like? You know what I mean? So let's say if you have a man who decided to go to therapy, right? He's decided to you see him and he's making that change. How much time do you give him? If he's working through 30 years or 40 years or 50 years of trauma. You know what I'm saying? So what does that look like? When I say rooting for your man, I'm talking about sometimes a man has conceded and said, hey, I do have these flaws. I see my flaws. I'm trying to work on it. I've turned away from the liquor trying to work on it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case, whatever it may be, right? I'm trying to turn away from this and I'm seeking help, right? And so that's one of my personal things, right? I saw help this summer. I said, you know what? Because AJ, we've been doing this since even before COVID, right? Yeah. We were talking about, why are we so angry? Yeah. What are these things that we're going through? First of all, we were watching people who look like us being lynched on TV. Just because it was a bullet or just because the man was being choked don't mean he was not being lynched to us. We felt that, right? And so these traumas, I go to child support court. Everything in child support court is set up against me. When I go to court, everything in that courtroom is set up against me. When I go to work, everything at work is set up against me.
Yeah, that's right.
And then when I get home,
you gotta fight it.
I gotta be able to give you some type of emotions when I am already drained.
And where's my help?
Yeah.
And if I can't get it there, I may go get it 2 hours over here and be back at the crib.
Yeah. And that's just the reality of it.
And that's just the reality of it.
We as Black men are fighting against a multitude of peripheral things to just stay afloat. And these are the things I explained to my son. Just waking up is a challenge. To just go out and drive is a challenge. I was talking to one young lady who has grown children, and one of her sons don't have a license. I said, well, good, because once he starts driving, oh my God, there's the weight of the world, because now you got to think about worry about getting pulled over.
Come on, AJ.
All right, now you got to worry about saying something to the police.
Oh, don't let your license be suspended.
Oh my goodness!
I drove 12 years, AJ, on a suspended license because of child support. I got real. It's real out here. Yeah, when I say what nothing but God. So when people say you stepped away from church, no.
Yeah.
No, I stepped away from foolishness and I picked up spirituality.
Yeah.
And I pray every day I go, every day, every moment I wake up, I take God with me because he's with me every time I go anywhere. Even when I'm doing foolishness, I wouldn't still be alive.
Mm-hmm. And even for me, I'm not exempt. I was a terrible husband. I will admit that. I was a terrible husband. Decent father, but terrible husband. And I've learned from that, right? And I'm not going to get into why, but I've acknowledged the fact that I just wasn't a good husband. I mean, I had good intentions, was just not
paved the way to hell.
There you go. So I mean, but you learn from that, and you just learn from it. Hopefully for the next time, or if it is that.
Can I put you on the spot, AJ?
Sure.
What did you learn from it?
From being a terrible husband?
Yes.
Oh man, you just don't do certain things. You take people's feelings into consideration. You don't be selfish. You don't be biased. You don't be a narcissist. You don't put things before your wife. You just don't do certain things. things, and 90% of those things I just named, I did. I was a narcissistic asshole, and it's just what it was. But I didn't realize that until after the fact. So, I mean, you learn from it, and that's what I learned. That's what I learned. That's what I learned. So, and now, how do I disseminate this to my son? Right? I'm telling him to be this and be that, and he doesn't see me with. But I just explained to him the reality of this is some things just may or may not last forever. Doesn't mean you can't be the person to change it or be the person that I wasn't, because as fathers, we want to see our sons better than us. We want to see our children achieve more than what we have. And when that doesn't happen, we're looked at as failures or something went wrong or what, we just don't know. But we try our best. Even for me, I'm trying to be the best father I can, but I'm not in the household, but I'm active in his life, right? And I just want to make sure that even being on this platform, I can say that, which I'm trying. I'm successful. I think we have a great relationship, my son and I. I see him as often as I can. There's no blockage or anything. If I want to go see him right now, I can go see him. There's none of that. Thank God for the mother he has, and the woman, his mom is incredible. I will say that. So, and because of the things that he's been through and he's accomplished, that's all his mama. I mean, I had some influence, but if you have the one parent in the household, that's the dominant parent. It's just what it is, right? And luckily for my son, he has a mom who's just resilient and was not about to play with him, and just made sure that he's successful and have a relationship with me. So shout out to Bryce's mom. So yeah, that's what it is. So to conclude today, right? I'm going to start with you, Jerron. What do you think? How do you think we as Black men, and we'll start with the younger generation such as yourself, how can we fix this problem? What do you think?
Really?
Speaking to the mic, my brother, my nephew.
So really, I know, like I said earlier, owning up to your own accountability. And then I guess being around, the right father figure, either a good father figure, just talk to them, tell them like what you going through, how your life is going, what you're looking forward to, what you want to build or create, situations like that. It's really just that, just being involved around the right male figure.
Mm-hmm. That's good stuff. Jacob, what you think, man? How can we fix this problem?
I like to say, it really start with the younger people. If I'm being honest, it's really how you gonna stop it with us. So what we doing now with MHAI is pretty much is that we're trying to stop a generational curse. Really, we're trying to stop young Black men thinking it's okay to tow guns and talk about killing and drugs and sex when it's not, because life is real. And we try to teach them that life is real. If you do something, it is consequences. It is a cause and effect. Simple as that. So I already think it starts with the younger people, and that's what really MHAI is doing. And we also working with some miles to that finger too. So we doing as well with the gaming. So yeah, really, that's what we will be doing. It's really start with the younger people.
Yeah, I heard you guys are doing quite well over there at MHAI. I'm proud of you guys, that's for sure. Mr. Miles, what are some steps we can take to fix this problem, man?
We are all works in progress. I have to give that up to something my ex-wife used to always tell me. You were always a work in progress. Right. So that means that as a community, what we have to do is show each other more understanding, more forgiveness, more patience. I don't think we have a lot of patience with each other. And we got to do some healing. We got to look in the mirror and really do some real healing to stop these generational curses of us not being in the household.
Dre Jeff, coming from a guy who's in the household, who was in the household, still is. As a matter of fact, you're still raising your boys.
And if you seen Jeff hands, I'd be scared. He couldn't whip me, man.
No.
He don't play with him. He don't play with him.
No.
He got his hands big. Like he played basketball, G.
No, you haven't seen Dre Jeff Jr. You got to see this boy's son.
Wow.
The Giants.
Yeah, and he'll be home in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. So how can we fix this, brother?
To fix it, you somewhat have to fix yourself.
You got to.
You got to fix yourself. Especially when it's raising a family, sometimes it's not about you. But in there, you don't lose yourself neither. You see what I'm saying? What's the greater good? You know, you want to make sure that you give to someone else what you didn't have. And that's how I look at it. Mm-hmm. And keep your manhood and still stay the strong Black man that you are, even if you have to conform a little bit. Raising children from one point of age, I am the law. That's it. But when they get to a certain age, now I can compromise with you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Give me a reason to compromise with you. Mm-hmm. Now, if you show me that you can be responsible with this, then I'm gonna give you a little more. And I'm gonna give. But as soon as I see that, I'm taking it away. Even with your adult children, sometimes you have to let them bump their head a little bit.
You better.
And especially if they ask you for your advice, basically, and all is just stay humble, fix yourself or whatever. Pray to God and keep it moving. Whatever you can't fix today, you do it tomorrow. Nice. We got another check.
I want to read another comment from Karen 2. I won't say her name.
Man, you got to find someone else. Make this a Keisha or something.
Well, I know a Keisha. She might say, "Why you saying my name?"
I know a Karen.
Right. I do know a Karen, though. That's for sure. Well, anyway. Now, she said, the Black man causes disruptions in the household, which can lead to negative outcomes. They'll leave their families, forcing the women to become single parents. Then this causes a negative behavior and trauma in the children and resentment from the woman. So,
can I say something about that?
Go ahead.
I know personally, I know for a fact that my father could not handle my mother. You know what I'm saying? Let's be for real. I know for a fact that my father could not handle my mother. Yeah. It was best for him to leave. Once you grow up and you look and you see what the relationships would have been like in your household, or you look at how they communicated with each other, and that's not me absolving him of what he did or did not do either, right? I'm saying on both sides, sometimes it's not good for y'all to be together. Yeah, because we didn't choose right in the first place.
Well, okay. I mean,
that don't mean you can't co-parent.
That's right.
You just can't use the child as power over the man.
Now, these people don't want to comment on here, but I'm going to say, okay, Karen number 3. Some men are home and still have no power or authority in the household.
Hello.
Some women don't take accountability for the children they've had with irresponsible men, then expect them to be responsible. And some women have very disrespectful mouths that belittle men. And they are representatives of, okay, I got you. That was actually somebody.
It's both sides, right? My point, AJ, that's why people get so upset, is that both sides, the entire community has been traumatized, and we keep blaming each other instead of looking at what has caused our traumas. We just looking at what's at face front, right? We're not looking at the holistically everything that we really went through, and why we're even choosing the mates that we're with in the first place, because there's a pattern to it.
It is. There's a pattern. All right, let me talk about some people who've chimed in, and thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Erica Jackson says, men and women, empathy is an action word.
Boom.
And I'm also a phlebotomy instructor and screenwriter. Yes, you are, Erica. That's for sure. All right. Love don't mean you need to be together. That's what Clack and Shimmy Live said, Miles.
Mm-hmm.
Old and young need to learn from each other. She said that again. Yeah. A change in mindset can break the curses. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, they're Clack and Shimmy. What's she looking like?
She cute, man. Okay. Men don't receive grace. That's what one Mr. Clayton just said. And then
factual.
being born black in this country automatically puts you at a deficit. Yes, that's right. I want to thank everybody for chiming in. This is a very interesting
I'm at the
topic.
Red Pepper tomorrow night.
Go on and tell people where you're at tomorrow night. DJ and Mr. Miles.
I'm at the Red Pepper tomorrow night, man. I'm in the Red Pepper for some musical, social, emotional.
I'm gonna let you go ahead and say that, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They ain't paying us because it's you.
It's me. Mouth sauce music. How about that?
There you go.
But I gotta tell them where I'm at. I'm at the Red Pepper, though, G.
Tomorrow night?
Tomorrow afternoon, man. I get there about 5 o'clock, man, for some musical libations.
There you go. That's right. First of all, I want to thank Jacob Geron of MHAI for chiming in on this conversation. This is part 1. We're gonna continue with part 2 in the new year. And we got to get deeper into this stuff. So also, Mr. Miles, man, you are representing Miles House Music. He's a renowned DJ here in Chicago, man. If you want Miles House, just go to this page.
Charles
Miles.
No 6 wings with that Miles House?
No, you can get 6-piece, 9-piece with thighs. Yeah, all that.
All right.
All the fries I can get.
Fried hard.
All right.
I'm getting that when I leave for today. Gerard, who you want to shout out, man? Start with you, brother.
Shout out to my pops, you know.
Yeah. Speaking to the mic, Broham.
Keep doing it.
Yeah, he's so cool. You know what I'm saying?
So cool.
Yeah, shout out to my pops. You know, shout out to y'all.
Yes,
for
sir.
like inviting me to this.
Yeah.
Radio show.
Absolutely.
It's my first time like really seeing everything.
Oh yeah.
Seeing, so I'm like, okay.
You're on YouTube live right now.
Right now.
Doing?
Yeah, that's the camera.
Man, say how y'all doing? Point that way.
They're really like, what's up? How y'all doing?
What's up?
Oh my God, Jacob.
Yeah, well, shout out my pops. Shout out my moms, all my brothers, sisters. Shout out my niece. You know that's why I'm really shout. You know, shout out my family, man. For real.
There you go.
Let's go.
You say fam, you can't go wrong. Charles Miles.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Who you want to shout out, brother?
Man, shout out to my family. We lost a very important figure in our lives. Last week, her funeral will be upcoming weekend. So Mike, Celeste, all of y'all, man, I love my cousins, man. We are here together, standing in union. And also, man, shout out to my pops, man. I had him out until I had a 75-year-old out until 3 o'clock in the morning last weekend, man. We kicked it real hard. All the Scorpios, all the Sagittarius and the Capricorns coming up, man. We love y'all.
We do. Pisces coming up, but we love everybody. But Pisces are the greatest.
Virgos.
Who you want to shout out, Dre Jones?
So biased, man. Cancer is what's up, man.
I guess.
No, shout out to God, man, for giving us a
All
chance
day,
every
man.
time we wake up. Like I said, what we can't fix today, we can fix tomorrow. Shout out to you, the fans. You know,
Man.
for the fans tuning into us, and you know, especially this week, they blowing up today. Or whatever. It's
Absolutely.
to our guests. I can't say guests, they family.
We family.
You know, we family. Shout out to y'all. Thanks for y'all coming in for making the show. Shout out to my family, my mom, my brothers, my sister, my wife, my children.
Wait, did you say your wife? Hey, Kim. Go ahead, man.
Hey, sis.
And with all that, I want to shout out to really my parents for making me who I am today. With all the talk today, you know, my mom raising me to be a strong black man. For my father, who I love till the day he died, but he showed me how to be a father without being a father.
Yes, sir.
So he showed me what to do. And he told me that do what I didn't do. So I want to shout out to him, Mr. Sylvester Jefferson Sr. You know, may you rest in power, man. Shout out to this man right here.
Hey, Jake.
He ain't got no medium shirt
No,
on.
man, I got on a nice little outfit,
you
man.
know.
Leave my stuff alone.
You got a jacket on. That's what AJ stand for.
Hey, man, we're going to Rico's after this, man. We're going to Rico's after this.
So shout out to him, man, for giving us a chance, man. Who you want to shout out to?
Man, I want to give a shout out to the fans first and foremost. You guys are incredible. Clack and Shimmy, she said, I gotta say this. If we really want to do something different, then we need to heal ourselves and actually participate in our own therapy. Unpack your baggage instead of bringing it to a new relationship and adding to it. That's profound. Thank you for that. And
That was
thank
some
you
thick
to
knowledge right there.
everybody who chimed in today, who said their comments, who's looking right there. Appreciate you so much and love you forever. Shout out to my mama for raising a black man. She raised 2 black men, me and my brother. Thank you, mama. Thank you so much, and I love you.
We at Rico's, man.
We at Rico's tonight. And then also shout out to you guys, Jacob, Jerome, Charles Miles, Dre, Jeff, Mo Green didn't make it tonight, and Shamika Finley didn't make it, but that's okay. Well, she was I gave her the day off. I sanctioned her to have the day off. Yes, go ahead, bro. Go ahead, nephew.
Shout out to all the genuine people who show genuine love. I'm gonna just say that. And also shout out to the people who check on your strong people.
Man, yes, indeed. And last but not least, I just want to say, check on your loved ones. Don't wait too late to say I love you, and don't hold grudges. Right? I'm talking to myself as well. Make sure you check on your people, y'all. That is so important, and love on them while they're here.
Check on them.
That's what's up. All right, next week is our last week of the year of the show. We're gonna come back in 2025 with guests up the wazoo. I'm lining them up, so don't forget to tune in next week. That's our last week of the season. Wow, I think Shamika got a comedian coming on, and we're gonna have a ball that day. All right, until next time, don't forget to catch us every Monday night from 5 to 7 right here on My Radio Chicago. That's on the Support District Radio Network, where it's what, people? More radio. Shout out to Nancy's Home Care, MHAI, Agape Oasis, and everybody that's sponsoring Sizzling Skillets, NALB, and all y'all. Thank you so much. We out. See you next week. See y'all.
Care, you may think of nurses visiting a home to care for an elderly patient, and that is accurate to a point. However, Nancy's Home Care offers a wider variety of care options than just that. We offer companion, personal, and respite care. We also offer household services. Our caregivers will provide light housekeeping to ensure that you or your loved one's home stays clean and safe. Our staff can help with dementia, Alzheimer's, surgery recovery, or simply aging care. We create care plans that are completely customized to our clients' needs, and our personal care workers are available anywhere from 4 to 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. Nancy's Home Care now has its own training facility, so future caregivers can receive holistic home care training. Nancy's Home Care provides professional home care in Chicago and surrounding areas. Visit our website at nancyshomecare.com. Nancy's Home Care, helping people, touching lives.